So, when I did my Jazz Wasted Potential and I labeled Jazz like in the really bottom of the Wasted Potential scale, since I said that Jazz wasn't really wasted in the movie and I think he did achieve his potential. And a lot of you guys were a little skeptical about this, to say the least. Some of you guys said that Jazz was really wasted or that his sacrifice meant nothing. And you guys are kind of wrong about that. And on this video, I'm gonna explain to you guys as to why Jazz's sacrifice meant so much to the humans. And it, in a way, it kind of changed the movie universe in a way. So I'm gonna go over it, but I'm also gonna use examples from the comics, since I know the comics are not really canon, but they do their best to fit in. And I think it's still pretty interesting to go over, because I think you can consider the events of the comics, in a way, at least canon to some degree. So we're gonna begin. So when Megatron showed up, Jazz and Ratchet were evacuating the humans and the civilians. Jazz was trying to tell them all to go away, he was gonna stay back and fight Megatron. Lennox noticed this and he told Jazz to just move back, like they can all just escape together. But Jazz decided to stay since he knew that Megatron wouldn't let them go away. After Megatron exploded the car and he got caught in the explosion, Megatron grabbed Jazz and carried him to the top of a building, where, as we all know, he split Jazz in two. After that, toasting his body and, turning his attention to Prime. So here's where we begin. After that, when Optimus and the humans win the battle, Ironhide and Ratchet told Optimus that they were trying to save Jazz, but they couldn't because his spark was already faded by the time they went to him. It's at this moment that Optimus gives a speech and thanks all the humans, and also acknowledges that Jazz has sacrificed himself for them and how thanks to him they have gained new allies. Now, this is important because this is the first time the Autobots have worked with the military. Now, coming into the Battle of Mission City, the Autobots have just met the humans who, as far as they know, their whole base has been attacked by one of them, a Decepticon, and they know how dangerous they can be. I mean, Blackout took out an entire military base all by himself. So, when they go against the Autobots, they're gonna be a bit skeptical about it, they're gonna be like, should we trust these guys? I mean, they seem legit, but, we should be careful around them. Now, by having Jazz sacrifice himself for them, it kinda, cements the seeds of friendship that they will later have. Because in the last night, we do know that Lennox, knows about Jazz's sacrifice, and he has worked with the Autobots for a long time. So that's why when he tells the TRF that they're not all bad, he's mostly referring to Jazz and the Autobots that die, during the in-between between Transformers 1 and 5. Jazz's sacrifice is really important because not only did it show the humans that the Autobots can be trustworthy and that they're willing to put their lives on the line for them, but it also helped all of those humans, like the first members of NES, stay alive. If Jazz hadn't sacrificed himself, it's very likely that Megatron would have killed Lennox, Sergeant Epps, and a lot of the humans that survived the Blackout attack. Now, with those humans gone, the Transformers 5 scene where, the humans are basically about to fight Bumblebee and Hound, it could have gone a lot different without Lennox or someone from NES being there. Also, if Jazz hadn't stayed back and, fight off Megatron all by himself, this could have showed the humans that the Autobots, well, they don't really care about them. They're gonna save their own lives instead of sacrificing themselves for them. I'm not saying this will have ruined the human and Autobot relationship. I'm just saying that the relationship will have been less, brothers fighting side by side. It will have been more like, two factions having the same interests fighting side by side. And also the fact that Lennox survives and that, Jazz saved Lennox is pretty big because out of all the humans, Lennox is the one that has the closest bond to the Autobots. There's the reason why out of all the NES forces, the NES soldiers we get shown in the movies, he's the one that gets the most screen time because he's the one that has like the best relationship with the Autobots. Even like Ebb said in Dark of the Moon when he thought the Autobots died, that dude killed my friends as well. So this scene was actually kind of important. But now I'm gonna jump to the comics. Jazz's sacrifice is, emphasized as more of a big deal in the comics. When the Autobots and the humans go back to Mission City to clean the damage and recover Jazz's body, They basically get a transport for it, and as Ironhide is putting Jazz's body into the transport, the Nest soldiers, these are the soldiers that survived the attack by Blackout and the ones that were in Mission City, they all lower their heads. Now this is a sign of respect and a sign of friendship, basically letting us know that the humans now, know that the Autobots are good, that there are good Transformers and there are bad ones. So this scene is pretty important for the, whole development between the military and the Autobots. Since, as far as we know, the civilians don't really like the Autobots because they haven't really fought alongside them side by side or anything like that. As far as the civilians know, they're just murderous robots. But the Nest forces, and especially these humans right here, they're the first humans who interacted with them, as far as, being part of the military is. These soldiers will later tell on other soldiers, other commanders or high-ranking officers such as the General in Transformers 5 that the Autobots are actually good, like they're on their side and they should be, friends. Because even though in Transformers 5, the General, like, he's military, okay? He hasn't fought with the Autobots side by side at all. He has, given them orders and stuff. But the fact that he was like, if only Prime was here, just goes to show that he really trusts them, even though he was never involved with them on the battlefield. This is most likely something that Lennox told him, and a lot of the surviving Nest forces told him. So as far as we know, the military kind of does trust the Autobots, but the government and the civilians, that's another story. The comic even goes as far as to show us that the human military gave a funeral for Jazz, a soldier funeral. You don't do that for an alien or for much less a guy from another country that just sacrificed himself for you or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, but whatever. They gave him a funeral before burying him at sea, and the humans were there present, the military was there present. So yeah, Jazz's sacrifice had a big impact on the military. If Justin sacrificed himself, I think that the relationship wouldn't have been as, as close as it was, in the first movie towards the last night. And also, no Jazz means no Sergeant Epps and no Lennox. Maybe Sam would have died in Dark of the Moon without Lennox being there to help him. And, a lot of other changes will happen, but I'm not gonna go over that right now. So this bit is just to explain why Jazz's sacrifice is actually way more important than people give it credit for. Say what you want about Michael Bay and the Transformers franchise overall, but the first movie really did have an impact, and I do feel that Jazz did fulfill his purpose, and he went out in a good way, not being afraid of going against the main leader of the Decepticons, someone who was like 3 times his size, and also he went out as a true Autobot, sacrificing himself for others. So yeah, that's it for this Transformers Explained, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and if you have any ideas for what other topic I should do, make sure you comment down below. So yeah, that's it for now, guys, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.